This conference will now be recorded.
All right, good afternoon and welcome to the Clear Lines training session. I am your host, Kipp Cohen. It is Thursday, the 2nd of May, 2019, here for the next 60 minutes to discuss the Clear Lines indicator running on the Medved Trader platform. This session is recorded. I offer twice a week training every Tuesday and Thursday, 3 o'clock Eastern to 4 o'clock Eastern. If you have specific questions about Clear Lines or about the Medved Trader platform, this is your opportunity to ask those questions. To get to our recorded training, just go to equity-alerts.com, click on the YouTube link, and you will find our recorded sessions. Here's the one from Tuesday of this week. There aren't any from last week due to no session last Thursday, and then I had an issue on Tuesday. We had some technical issues, but this past session is already there. For anyone new watching, although I know the guys that are in here now, y'all aren't so new, but for anyone new watching, the Clear Lines indicator was developed as in a response to a void that needed to be filled when WiseTrade shut down. The Clear Lines are a momentum-based indicator tracking buying and selling momentum, buying and selling pressure. The indicator runs on a third-party platform, which is called Medved Trader. Medved developed by the guys that created Quote Tracker that was acquired years ago by TD Ameritrade. Their platform, Medved, is integrated in with a handful of brokers. Clear Lines is a paid subscription-based indicator. And with it, you get ongoing twice weekly training, ongoing support. What I wanted to do today, I wanted to just spend a few minutes basically going through first the Medved platform, just initiating what it looks like when you start up, some of the features of the platform, the Clear Lines layouts and how we build layouts, and again through some of the features of the Medved with Clear Lines. And then if you have specific questions, please send them in through the GoToMeeting box, the GoToMeeting player. There is a section there to ask questions. Your questions are definitely appreciated. And again, that's the main reason I am here, is to teach my users how to use the Clear Lines on the Medved platform. Most of the support comes in the ways of teaching Medved because it is a very advanced platform with a lot of features. So what you're looking at now is the layout that basically the startup layout for somebody that just goes to Medved, if they just use Medved by itself. Medved is a platform that allows you to create, basically a modular platform. It allows you to create a custom layout, like however you see fit. And it's, I'll just say, you could probably create thousands of different layouts, but I try to keep it simple. I use basically two layouts. I use one in the pre-market for reviewing charts, and then I use another one once the market opens for trading. But I just want to kind of go through the components, what you see here, so you understand what there is. So Medved utilizes a portfolio or watch list for tracking your stocks, and that's what's on the upper left corner. It is basically what's called a portfolio or watch list. You see right here, it says portfolio. You have the ability to add the indexes to any portfolio, the index panel, so you can see what the market's doing. You can turn that on or turn it off. My layout has two different panels, one specifically just for the indexes and another one just for my watch list or portfolio. Okay, so again, you can change the way it looks. There are different templates for layouts. If you want to see if you want to see, charts, or that's the, hold on. If you want to see, let me go to main view. Okay, so you can customize the view of the stocks in the watch list. You can have little charts. You can change the time period for those little charts. You can have bid ask, high low, volume. So whatever works best for you. There are, if you want what's called the standard grid. I like this. I like the tile simple 2 layout. This is the layout that I prefer to use. But again, however you see fit, however you want the layout for yourself is up to you. The bottom left corner, you're going to notice there is news. So this is tied to your watch list. These stocks are will come from all the different watch lists. So anytime a news story comes out, it'll come through. You can also just look strictly based on a single stock. If you want to look at a single stock, you can get the news for just the stock. Medved utilizes 2 different types of charts. One is considered an intraday, so that's going to be your different minute time frames. So right now it's on a 1 minute on the upper chart. And then there is also a historical, which is going to be your daily, weekly, monthly, even quarterly or yearly chart. All right, so again, this is the basic layout. And then this also has a level 2 feed, as well as what's called raw data, and then the dashboard, which allows you to access additional portfolios and do different things with the software. Go to the settings to customize your Medved platform. So this is their startup layout, okay? This is what a typical technical trader would probably want to use, depending on what kind of information they want to see. So the platform also in the layout library, and the layout library is something that anyone that has access to Medved will be able to see. So now, if you don't subscribe to the Clear Lines, you're not going to see my layouts. So you will only have access to these two layouts, pre-built layouts, Clear Lines Active and Clear Lines Swing Position, if you subscribe to Clear Lines. So I'm going to go ahead and click that so it'll bring up my swing position layout. So what this does is this has 8 different time frames, which I built this specifically with the wise trader in mind that was used to viewing 8 different intervals on their overview screen: long-term, mid-term, short-term, and then 130, 60, 30, 10, and 2 if you were using swing position. Okay, so this allows you at a glance to see the overall trend of a single stock. Upper left corner, as I was talking about, is the index panel. Upper center right is the watch list. And you can have multiple watch lists. As you can see in my dropdown, I have a bank watch list, I have a Forex, a futures, a NASDAQ 100, my popper dropper list, Tinsley's swing radar list, and so forth. So you can have custom built, you can add multiple watch lists. And you'll notice that there is a blue push pin, which for symbol linking at on the portfolio watch list window, and also each chart has a blue push pin. So what happens is when I click the symbol on the watch list, it loads it onto all those charts because they are linked together. It's a linking feature. This allows you to go through a group of stocks quickly and review the trend. You can just quickly go through. If you're just looking at, you want to see the long, mid, and short, or you want to see what's going on intraday, you can do that by just selecting the symbol in this watch list. If there's a single stock you want to watch, all you have to do is click on any chart, put left click once, and then start typing, and the box is going to appear, and then you hit enter on your keyboard, and that will load the symbol. You can do that from any chart, and because all the charts are linked together, it will load it across all charts. Okay. So again, quick glance, we can see what's going on with Facebook. So for somebody that just wants to know what's going on with the trend, that's all you really need. If you just want to say, okay, here's my monthly trend is trending up, my weekly trend's trending up, my daily chart's trending up, got a pullback today. Intraday, here's a 130, we're seeing a pullback. Here's the 60-minute, you can see we're bouncing off a bottom, 30-minute bounce off the bottom, 10-minute bounce off the bottom, and so forth. So real quick, again, for somebody that wants to keep it real simplistic, this is all you need. You don't need to get real fancy. You don't need to add anything else. This is a quick trend review. And you're seeing the 8 time frames, like I said, that we used to have on our WiseTrade software for those that were former WiseTrade subscribers. Now, for those that wish to trade utilizing the Medved platform, it does integrate with a handful of brokers. So if you go to the dashboard, which you can get to from your taskbar, there's an icon for the dashboard. You can also click one of these little boxes right here that looks, I call it the Rubik's Cube. It's on the charts. It's on the index panel. That will open up a mini version of the full dashboard, and then you can go to settings, or you can go from the index panel, file, settings. Okay. Within the settings, you can see under trading and accounts which brokers are integrated. So Ally Invest is integrated, E-Trade, if you trade futures, Gain Capital, Interactive Brokers, If you're from Canada, Quest Trade. If you have Robinhood, that's integrated. I'm not familiar with them. TD Ameritrade and Tradier. Okay, all these brokers. And you can have multiple accounts, as you can see I have, linked to your Medved Trader platform. So that would allow you to trade from any one of your accounts if you have multiple brokers or multiple accounts within a single broker. And you can either trade directly from a chart. You can go to trading and trade directly from a chart, or you can go to the dashboard and go to create a trade ticket from the dashboard and select which account you want to trade from. Okay, if you want to do it that way, that is the other way you can trade. So there are lots of different ways to do it. I like to just strictly trade off of the charts. I find that the easiest. You just have to make sure you're in the right account. So you click the drop down to select which account you want to trade from. And you can select one to be your default account, that whenever you open, that's the account that will default. That's really for somebody that just wants to keep it simple. That's the basics. Now, you again can get more complex. You can add features to the charts. You can create custom layouts. You can create a custom toolbars, which is what I have here. There's a lot of different things you can do. Alan says, do you use clear lines to bracket a trade? So I'm going to change my layout real quick. I'm going to go to the layout I used when I'm trading actively during the day. And so I'm not sure what you mean do you use the clear lines? I use when I'm looking at a trade, I'm using a combination of clear lines and other indicators to determine how I set my bracket order. Okay, the bracket order is with your broker. The bracket order is placed with your broker if they permit it. Not all brokers allow bracket trades, but if your broker permits the use of a bracket trade, it is done through them. Now, do I look at my lines? Do I use my lines to help me determine where I'm going to place my stops and my limits? I use my lines. I use pivot points. I do use Fibonacci levels. I do use a combination of things. So let's use CRE as an example. So let's first go to a 15-minute time frame, and we're going to draw the Fibonacci extension of the first 15-minute time frame. Okay, and now let me go back to my 3-minute. So as you can see, we're currently not at and I'm going to expand this chart so you can see more clearly. We are currently not at a Fibonacci level, but I do have a Bollinger Band up here. We're at the top of a Bollinger. Our 3-minute just crossed over, and our 1-minute just dropped and gave a down arrow. So let's say this was and I'm only going to do a small short here. I'm just going to do a couple hundred shares, but let's say we determined, my clear lines rolled over. I got a down arrow for a trend reversal. I see that we're at some tops. I can draw a trend line across my 3-minute and see, is this kind of toppy? All right, so again, if I like this as a level to short, then I put in my short, my sell order, so 65.90. So now I have to place my bracket order, and let me expand this window. I need to place a bracket order to get out of the trade. Okay, I utilize a bracket to set a stop and a limit. Okay, to protect myself on the bottom side of the trade and to lock in profits. So I can look at my clear lines and I can find points of inflection on the clear lines. I can use my pivots. I don't see, where is the VWAP on here? I don't see VWAP. It might be way down. Yeah, VWAP is way down. So I'm not going to, I wouldn't use VWAP as a potential target. I like, what I like is a combination of, let me show you something. I'm going to draw a line here. If I was looking at a target, okay, you can see my clear lines caught a bounce here and caught a bounce here, okay? So, and it's also the bottom of a 3-minute Bollinger Band. So if I wanted to set that as a target, that could be my profit target point. So we'll use that line that I just drew. That's our target. And our stop, I'm going to go up above this trend line that I drew, okay? Probably should go a little higher, but we're going to utilize that. Since we've already curled over here, it didn't quite get to that prior high, and we're above the top of the band. So you can see, utilizing the Medved bracket, that it tells me if I set my bracket here, I'm risking $60 and my potential gain is 120. So that's pretty good. It's a 1 to 2 risk to reward. Risk $1 to make $2. Risk 60 to make 120. So I'm going to send that order. So now, in essence, I've placed a bracket. I've protected myself. I've limited my loss potential on the top end, and I've found a reasonable level to lock in profits on the bottom end based on what I see in my charts, using my clear lines, utilizing also other technical indicators. I can go back and also look at my 1 minute and notice, so I have a different indicator on my 1 minute that is also validating my target down here. Nope, hold on. Actually, the target's way down here. Hold on, what was, oh, that was the line I drew. All right, never mind. I was thinking I saw something else down there. That was just my trend line. So actually, my first target will probably be this level right here, the 2618 and the demarc pivot on the current day session. Looking at this, in other words, when it gets to this level right here, since it's a confluence of Fibonacci and a demarc pivot, that's where I would tighten up my stop loss to at least break even or slight profit if it gets down to that level. It actually just bounced. But Alan, to answer your question, or does that answer your question on using clear lines for a bracket trade? Was that what you were looking for? Yeah, okay. So it's a combination of things that I'm watching. Yes, clear lines. Yes, pivot points. Yes, Fibonacci levels. Now I'm also looking at, on a 3 minute, I do look at Bollingers as well. They help. They've helped with finding possible targets. So we'll keep an eye on that and see where it goes. Good question. What other questions do you guys have at the moment? Any other specific questions about either the Clear Lines indicator or specifically any questions related to the Medved Trader platform? So anybody that is currently not a subscriber, the Clear Lines by themselves, the subscription is $59 a month. Plus, if you do not have an account with Ally Invest, there is an additional $19.99 a month after the first 30 days from Medved Trader. They have a platform fee. And then if you don't have one of the integrated brokers, if you don't have an account with Ally Invest, TD Ameritrade, or IB or E-Trade, there is also the potential that you would have to subscribe to a third-party data provider to power the software. So if you have Fidelity or Schwab, those are the two brokers that Medved does not integrate with, you would still need to get quotes, power the software through a third party that runs about $25 a month. So if you have an Ally Invest account, then you just a funded account with over 500, you would only have the $59 fee for the Clear Lines that is paid to my company through equity-alerts.com. You subscribe at equity-alerts.com. Would you show how to enter and close a trade? Yeah. So there are multiple ways, Dennis, to enter and exit trades. You can enter through a chart. You can enter through a trade ticket. So I'm going to show you how to use a trade ticket. You just go to the dashboard, click on trade ticket, pick which account you want to utilize. So I'm going to pick this account. All right. So I need to enter my symbol. So let's just do Facebook. So I can do right here, Facebook. I can select my shares. I'm going to do 100 shares, and then I can do a buy, sell, or short. So let's say we want to short Microsoft up here. I can just click short, and then I get a confirmation, and actually it is filled right here, filled at 191.91, 100 shares. Then I can go to my positions tab, and I can see that Facebook minus 100 shares, and I can see current P&L minus $11. That's how you open a trade. That's one way to open a trade. If I want to close the trade, I can close it from here. From the trade ticket, I can do another trade ticket, or you'll notice that the trade now appears on the chart. So I can trade from the chart. I also have a button called flatten. If I decide I just want to get out of this trade, that I'm done, I need to exit, I can hit the flatten button. Or if I want to reverse the trade and go long, I could hit the reverse button. I can also set a stop loss. So I can click right here where it says stop and do a buy order since I'm short, and I can set my stop wherever I want it to be. You'll notice, if you can see, it says loss amount. It tells me, depending upon where I set my stop, how much my loss is going to be. So let's say I want to move it to 0, break even. I can set a stop loss at 0 so that now my stop is at break even, and then I commit the order. So now I have a stop loss at break even. And speaking of stop lossing, we got closed on our bracket order on CRE. So that did exit us out of CRE. And I obviously was just showing you how to do an order. But okay, I can do it that way, or I can cancel that order and I can hit the flatten trade button if I just decide I'm ready to get out of the trade. I can flatten the trade and it sends a market order and gets me out right away. So we got out with a few pennies, about 4 or 5 cents. So there are multiple ways to enter and exit trades, depending on, again, what's you find easiest. So I can show you again how to enter a trade. If I want to set a limit, I can do a limit to buy. And let's say I want to set it at 191.80. If I want to change the number of shares, I can do that here. And since we're just practicing, here, let's do 189. So I have a limit. Oh, hold on. I'm going to cancel that. I want to short it. Oh, I got filled. It already filled it. Dang it. I wanted to short it, not buy it. So I made a mistake. Here's a good example. If you go, oh, I made a mistake. I didn't mean to go long. I meant to short it. You can reverse the trade. There's a reverse button. So boom, we turn it around. We go the opposite direction. And actually it popped up when we got out with basically break even. So now it turns it around the other way. There are lots of different ways to enter orders. Again, you can use trade tickets. You can trade directly from the chart. You can still trade directly from your broker if that's what works best for you. You don't have to chart trade. It's just some people find it a lot quicker to chart trade. All right, and again, if I want to get out because I don't like what's going on, flatten, and I'm out. Small loss. The cool thing is that the trades you'll notice will be on the charts. You'll see your entries and exits. So you can highlight, put your mouse over the number of shares that are down at the bottom. It says sold 191. It says bought. It says sold 191.91. It says bought 191.85. So you'll see those transactions. Each transaction with a dashed line will be on your chart. And again, you can go and open up the account view for whichever specific account you want to see. And you can see the positions that you traded. And you can see your P&L for each overall. This is the overall for each, so that this Facebook, we lost $1 on a handful of trades. That was the net after total P&L. You can see the individual transactions for that account. So that would be each individual trade, each buy, each sell. And then you can view your account balances. And you can do that for each of your accounts. Was that what you wanted to see, Dennis? Or is there anything else you want to see related to entering and exiting a trade? Okay, good. What else can I show you guys? Anything specific you would like to see? I do see we've got some new guests here today, and if there's any questions specifically, again, about clear trading, clear lines, or about the Medved Trader platform, I'm happy to answer. If there's something you want me to show you on the charts, on anything how to do, please, this is your opportunity to ask. Wow. Penn was one of my poppers. It was my favorite popper this morning. It was up 9% this morning. It is now down 5%. That was my favorite popper this morning. And look at that. It just grinded down all day long. All day long. My favorite dropper this morning was Cree, and it was down. That was down 11% this morning in the pre-market. It is now up on the day. It is up. Hold on. Cree is up now 2% on the day. So that turned out to be a great dropper. So part of what we do every day is, so the clear lines, you can subscribe to that by themselves, and that's $59 a month. I also have equity-alerts.com is my company with Jim and Lindsay. They're both former Wise Trade customers. We're a trading alert service. You can subscribe to that for $99 a month, or we offer a combination of equity alerts and clear lines discounted for $129 a month. Again, there could be additional cost depending on who your broker is, but we run our broadcast from 9 Eastern until 4 o'clock Eastern, and we have content all day long, and we are utilizing the clear lines and the Medved platform throughout the day. So if you do trade actively and you are looking for good place, good traders, that would be something you might want to check out. We offer a free 3-day trial of equity alerts, just the alerts. I don't give a trial of the clear lines because I feel my cost is reasonable, and 3 days I think is not enough. I think you need a month to utilize the platform, and I give a lot of my time and effort into anybody that's new. I do offer, if you want to call you and remote connect to your computer and help you build a custom layout, and so there's some value in that. I do provide ongoing support and training with clear lines. James says, can you show how to make a default chart style open when you select the intraday or historical charts? Can you show how to make a default chart style open? So, show how to make a default chart style, one that I created. So you're looking like right now like you want to show how to start from like a basic and then build a. So let me go to with indicators. Okay. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my two chart layout because that two chart layout basically, and I'm going to remove, let's see. I'm going to remove all the indicators except clear lines and volume. So when you get a basic clear lines layout, oh, hold on. No, it's going to have pivot point. Yeah, it does have pivot point. This is pretty much what you're going to get. You're going to get a chart with just the clear lines on it. And then you can start selecting what indicators. Now, James, I don't add indicators on my historical charts, my long, mid, and short term. I just use my clear lines on those charts. So the chart that I typically add indicators on are my intraday charts. So we'll utilize this for that purpose. And then if you can do the exact same thing on on a historical chart as well, if you want to add indicators. So one of the things, this is a personal preference thing, but if you want to utilize candlesticks, you can go to View, Options, and then select Hide Primary Chart. So that's what allows you to see the candlesticks behind my charts. You can turn that on and off. I actually have an on-off switch on my quick access toolbar. So we'll turn it on. And then to add indicators, you select on the chart, main, and then go to indicators, or you can right click on the chart and there's an add edit indicators. So depending on what indicators you want, again, I already have volume and I have clear lines and pivot points. That's going to be preset in my layout. So I can show you actually here. I'll show you what it looks like without. So that's just a chart with only candlesticks, okay? So now let's go back, add edit indicators. So clear lines. Now, if you are not as currently subscribing to clear lines, this will have a lock next to it and you won't be able to utilize it. And we want that on the main chart. We want volume. Now, volume is under the indicators. There's two sections. There's one called on main chart and there's one that says usually on a separate chart. I like my volume on my main chart. I like to see it on the chart, not below it. I like it overlaid. And then I do utilize daily pivots. So that's the pivot points right here. Hold on, upper section, pivot points. And I like those up on the top. So let's go back. So now you can see clear lines, you've got pivot points, and you've got volume on this chart. Now, if I want to add other indicators, if I want to add, let's say, Bollinger Bands, I can go to Bollinger Bands and select that. I can drop and drag it, or I can arrow it over, and then I can add my Bollinger Bands. If I want to utilize a EMA, all right, I can double click the EMA. I can then click and decide what period I want. So 360, that is a time frame that Elena utilizes. It's a Fibonacci based number that she likes to use. Well, it's close to the 3618. Basically, you could use 361 or 360. It's close enough. You can select the type of line, the color of the line that you want it to be. If you want to use a different color, you can select that here. You want a bright yellow. And then I can click OK. So now I have a 360 period EMA. Again, you can virtually add kind of an endless. The great thing about Medved is they have a lot of different indicators. We love the volume weighted average price. That's one of our favorite indicators to use. That is one of the favorite indicators to use, is the volume weighted average price. But like I said, you can create this as simple or as complex as you want. The cool thing also I want to show you is from right here at the upper left corner, you can put your mouse over the indicator and right click, and you can actually leave it but hide it. If I want to hide some of these indicators because I don't want to use them right now, I can do that, and they'll still be on the chart, but they'll be hidden. It's a great feature on the Medved platform. Is that what you wanted to see, James? Is there anything else specifically you would like me to show you? All right. Any other questions? I have some charts that I've built with indicators I like on there, but when I open a chart, they aren't there. I have to open it from the chart screen. I was hoping there was a way for my save chart to open. You should be able to, once you've built the chart the way you like it, okay? And let me, so let's say you have this chart and you like it. You should be able to go to main, no, templates, and set it as your default template. Or you can save it and then do save as my default chart. So yes, you can save, or you can do save and name it a specific chart. So yeah, you can save those charts however you want to create them. And then anytime you open a chart, so let me go to, let's just pick like BABA, intraday chart. And then I can go to templates. Let's see, load my default chart. Boom, There's the chart I just created. Yeah, you can definitely do that. It could be your default, or it can be one that you name, one of the templates. And then here's something important to remember. So you notice I just reopened this layout. So I didn't, if you make changes to a layout, like you add indicators, remove indicators, you need to resave the actual layout if you want that layout with all those indicators, or save it as another name. So since I didn't save the layout, it didn't, when I reopened it, those indicators went away. You have to, once you make adjustments with different indicators, make sure if you always want those to reappear on that layout, you have to resave the layout. So go File, Save Layout, and then, save layout, and then pick the layout that you're saving with all the new indicators. So like, let's say I go back to this and I go templates, load my default, and then I want to use this now permanently. Then I can go File, Save Layout, and then click, my two chart layout. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to, I like that other layout without it, because that's what I use in the morning. I use in the morning just a real clean layout of just the clear lines when I'm evaluating stocks. I do have the VWAP on here and the pivots, but I like to keep it pretty clean in the morning. Good question though. Yeah, it's great. You can save all these charts. Let me see if this. I think if you're doing a historical, you also have to save with changes on a historical. So because there are two different types of charts, so you'll notice when I go to main templates, if I go click on load, that layout's not here because there's a difference between a historical and a intraday chart. So they do save differently. You would have to also create it if you wanted to create, add indicators on a historical chart. You'll also have to save that as well as a template. All right, we just have a few more minutes to go. Any other questions today? Any other questions? This is your opportunity. If you think of something later, please don't hesitate to email me, kip@equity-alerts.com. You can, you're welcome to call or text me, 972-841-8886. If I don't answer, please do me a favor and leave a message. Just because sometimes I'm in the middle of a session and I get so many robocalls. So sometimes if I'm not sure who it is, I might not answer immediately, but if you leave me a message or text me, I will call you back. You can, again, always email me. This session will get posted to our YouTube page. Again, that's on the Equity Alerts YouTube page. You can get to that by going to equity-alerts.com. Click on the YouTube link. That'll take you to this page, and you can come back and rewatch this video. If you are currently not a subscriber and are interested in subscribing to Clear Lines, you can go to equity-alerts.com, click on the Clear Lines tab, and then there's information about subscribing as well as sign up. If you sign up for the annual, you get 13 months for the price of 12. And I do want to thank you guys for tuning in today. Again, real quick, if there's any more questions, I'm happy to answer. If not, we'll end it here. And again, thank you guys. I will be back on Tuesday at 3 o'clock Eastern for another Clear Lines training session for the Medved platform. And for those of you that are currently subscribers to Equity-Alerts, I'll see you guys in the morning. Have a great evening. And again, thank you guys. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.